Hello, in this video I'm going to be showing you the process that I go through when making aluminum Batman logos. The first step that I go through is tracing out Batman pictures that I got off the internet. I just trace them out onto a piece of foam so it creates an identical picture. What happens is the foam melts away when you pour the aluminum onto it, creating an identical figure of the Batmans. I don't trace the ears out because they're really fine and the aluminum usually doesn't flow in there, so I cut the ears out later with a hacksaw or a file to make that better. I use an ultrafine point Sharpie to trace out the Batmans onto the foam. The next step is to use a hot wire to cut the foam to cut the Batmans out. I did the crappy foam on camera, but I did the green colored foam off camera, so I did do that. So what you do is you just go along the lines, cutting it out. You have to leave some space because the wire kind of melts it. It's a little weird to get used to, but I mean, it's a lot better than using a knife. They're not the cleanest things, but I mean, I tried. So after this one I had to make 3 more. The other 3 looked a little better, so. So these are all the molds that I cut out. I only ended up making 2 of the Batmans in this video. And another thing, my styrofoam cutter, it kind of blew up and that made me really sad. So yeah, it was a sad day for me. I had to take a battery tender and stick it on there and hope that that didn't blow up. So yeah, this right here is just overly dramatic shots of stuff. This part right here is just me burying the molds in the green sand that I made in a previous video. It's not super interesting, so I'm just gonna fast forward through it. Burying the molds in the sand is probably the most tedious thing I've ever done in a while. So after you have all the molds prepared, you actually get to start melting the stuff. So what I do is I put some charcoal and stuff down in the bottom, and I put a bunch of lighter fluid down there. And then after that, you just pour a whole bunch of lighter fluid on top of it and just hope that it starts going. I mean, it eventually does, but it takes a while. Forcing the air into the furnace is basically a pretty large shop vac, and we have a very inadequate nozzle of some PVC pipe and some little spacers and stuff to control the airflow. Our furnace runs on coal, which means it gets super hot, but it also shoots out sparks everywhere, which can go in your sleeves and stuff, and trust me, it's not fun to get in your sleeves when they're still going. At this point, I had a whole bunch of aluminum in the crucible, but there is a thick layer of dross floating on top, so you just scrape the dross off. Dross is basically like this, like paint and graphite and all kinds of stuff that is in the aluminum, but you don't want it in there. So I just take a little stick, a steel stick, or rod or whatever, and start scraping it out. At first I was melting the aluminum off of the rod that was already on there, but then like right about now I started taking it all out of there. There's quite a bit in there, so I mean, you have to scrape quite a lot out. Yeah, you try not to get aluminum out, but it's pretty hard to not to. Our foundry gets super hot enough that it makes the aluminum glow red, which really isn't the most adequate thing to be doing. It doesn't need to get that hot, but I like making it get that hot just because it's cooler and it helps it flow better when you pour it in the molds. So this is me getting the aluminum out and getting ready for a pour. What I use is a pair of channel locks with a kitchen scoop, and I just walk over to the thing. I already poured one off camera, but here's the second one. I'm just gonna stop talking. Hi guys, thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like what I do on my channel, please consider subscribing. It'll really help me a lot. Tell people about my channel as well, just to help me grow it a little bit, and look forward to more videos in the future. I plan on doing this, and yeah, watch my other videos too. That'll help as well. So yeah, bye.